Akhilesh has also now come up with a warning on counting days, says be alert, inform EC in case of irregularity. Be cautious till you get the certificate where if you have won the particular seat. The 9 bypolls in Uttar Pradesh have seen a contentious battle there, especially where the Samajwadi Party facing off with the BJP is concerned. This is a prestige battle for Yogi Adityanath. These are the elections that are coming in after Lok Sabha 2024, where the BJP did not perform as per what they felt they should have in the state of Uttar Pradesh in the 80 seats there. And all eyes on Yogi Adityanath on how he'd be able to pull through where these 9 assembly seats are concerned, where bypolls are taking place. Samarth Srivastav joining us from Karhal, Etawah, Uttar Pradesh. Samarth, it's been a pitched battle over the 9 constituencies in Uttar Pradesh. What are you expecting today? You have Akhilesh Yadav already giving out a warning to the cadre. Stay strong, be vigilant.
Because it has been a message by Akhilesh Yadav since 2022 elections, also in the Lok Sabha elections, he has asked the workers to stay vigilant during the counting days. We saw it in 2022 assembly elections even, and at some places in Lok Sabha elections, we saw that there was spat around the areas where the counting stations were, counting centers were. So we can expect some drama today as well if something ugly happens during the counting, because Sisama and Karhal are 2 seats which are very important. And if you talk about this particular area where the polling happened, Sisama, Kundarki and Mirapur are 3 seats where Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav in a way blamed the government and especially the police and administration for not allowing people for casting their votes. So it's going to be very crucial, especially in these 3 seats, whether the counting will take place properly. That's a bigger thing, because we can expect some Samajwadi Party cadre workers assembling around the counting centers to ensure, because he has also said to collect the winning document. That has been the confidence by Akhilesh Yadav. He has cleared this message to the workers of Samajwadi Party, while BJP on the other hand is also planning tough and expect some good seats around this particular area, though BJP knows that it's going to be tough to win the Karhal seat because it has been the seat of MSY, and since then it's just one time BJP won that particular seat of Karhal. Akhilesh Yadav led the seat, and later Tej Pratap Yadav has been given the responsibility to take over this particular seat, fight on this particular seat. But on other seats, BJP feel that there could be a win-win situation, especially when CM Yogi Adityanath is leading this entire campaign of Yogi bypolls, clearly announcing the ministers and in a way trying to give responsibility to the ministers for particular bypoll seats, and that's why it's very crucial for the BJP as well.
Okay. All right, Samar, thank you for joining us. So all eyes on Uttar Pradesh as well. But like I pointed out, viewers, it's a big day. You have the big ticket state of Maharashtra, 288 seats, 81 assembly seats in Jharkhand, 9 bypolls in Uttar Pradesh, and other bypolls in Punjab, the seat of Lok Sabha, Wayanad, Priyanka Gandhi in the fray. All of that coming to a culmination by the end of day. It is verdict day. The people have spoken. The ballot will now decide. A quick break. Stay with us. On the other side, our ruling coverage continues.
आरक्षण को बंधुआ मजदूरी बताया था, लेकिन एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी की एकजुटता के कारण वे तब चुनाव हार गए।
महिलाओं की दुर्दशा, इसके सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ने का काम हेमंत सोरेन सरकार ने किया है। झारखंड में नाबालिग लड़कियों की तस्करी, महिलाओं के अपहरण, इसमें पूरे देश में दूसरे स्थान पर आज झारखंड पाया जाता है। और 17 की तुलना में देखें, जब हमने सरकार छोड़ी, महिलाओं के खिलाफ अपराधों में 29% की वृद्धि हुई है और बलात्कार के मामलों में 42% की वृद्धि श्रीमान हेमंत सोरेन आपके कार्यकाल में हुई है। आज पूरा झारखंड और विशेष कर आदिवासी क्षेत्र घुसपैठ से परेशान है। हमारे चंपई सोरेन जी ने घुसपैठ का मुद्दा उठाया।
हेमंत बाबू ने कहा आप सीएम पद छोड़ दो।
2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में 2 करोड़ 50 लाख से ज्यादा घुसपैठ के मामले में 2024 में मुझे बताओ, आदिवासी क्षेत्र में आबादी कम होती जा रही है, घुसपैठिए घुस रहे हैं, हमारी बच्चियों से शादी रचाकर जमीन हड़पने का कार्यक्रम चल रहा है। भाजपा की सरकार बना दो, आदमी तो क्या परिंदा भी पैर न मर पाए, इस तरह से घुसपैठ को हम रोक देंगे।
ये कह रहे हैं कि आदिवासी सुरक्षित नहीं है, ट्राइबल महिला सुरक्षित नहीं है, यहाँ की जमीन सुरक्षित नहीं है, यूसीसी कानून लागू करेंगे। ये तमाम बातें ये
इनके पास न मुद्दा विहीन पार्टी, देश में नफरत फैलाओ अभियान में लगे हुए हैं। बहु बेटियों की बात क्या करेंगे, इनसे पूछिए ना मणिपुर में क्या कर रहे हैं, इनसे पूछिए ना आदिवासी दलितों के मुंह पे पेशाब कौन करता है, इनसे पूछिए ना रेपिस्ट लोगों को जेल से कौन निकालता है।
All right, news break just coming in where Jharkhand's concerned. Soren's big word of caution on verdict day. Hemant Soren says, be alert and vigilant during counting. Stay firm until victory is certified. Well, you've heard this cry of caution coming in even from the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra that stay put at counting stations. And now you have Hemant Soren saying, be alert and vigilant during counting. Let's cut across to our reporters who are joining us right now from Jharkhand. Satyajit Kumar from Ranchi and Anupam Mishra also joining us. Satyajit, big day where Jharkhand is concerned. Exit polls seemingly giving the India Alliance an edge. What are you looking at?
Of course, the exit poll have predicted who is going to win and who has the edge, who has the advantage. But both the alliance have kept their finger crossed. No sweets have been ordered, no crackers have been ordered. You can't see any posters, and there is the absolute silence outside the BJP office, or if you talk about the CM office, CM residence, or the JMM office, all have kept their finger crossed. The celebrations have been shelved for some time, and they want to wait and watch till the trends are clear. Who is leading or who is trailing? Who will bite the dust? Who will bask in glory? So all things have been shelved, and of course, the debates are on who is going to win. People have been seen on the tea stalls gossiping in the local dialect. Kekar sarkar banto baba, Hemant lotto ki nahi lotto. These are the words people are discussing. These are the issues people are discussing. But none seems confident. None have exuded that much of confidence that they are going to form a stable government. And this time round, many factors were raked up by BJP and India Alliance as well. India Alliance countered the issues. First of all, the infiltration issue was raised with utter seriousness. Since the last 3 months, BJP said that the tribals are not safe, they are not protected. Tribal girls are being targeted by the infiltrators. They come from the porous border, they get into Jharkhand, they marry them. They have initiated and launched a love jihad as well as the land jihad. And they have changed the entire demography of the Santhal pocket. In 1951, the population of tribals was around 44%. In the 2011 census, it has gone down to 26%. This is what the infiltrators have done, and the Hemant government has failed miserably to protect the interest of the tribals, and that has been the plank of JMM politics. Tribal politics have been their plank, but they have failed miserably on that front. So, and whereas the JMM says that whose duty is this to protect the international border? This is the failure of the central. So the narratives have been built. Now this is the big day, the D-Day for both the alliance, and they have kept their finger crossed. They are waiting for the trends to be clear. Then we could see some celebration or buzz in Ranchi.
All right, Satyajit, we're going to come back to you. Everybody keeping their fingers crossed and not saying a word. nothing, complete silence where both headquarters are concerned. But let's cut across to Anupam Mishra as well, who's also joining us from Ranchi. Anupam, the state of Jharkhand is also witnessing a very distinguished political battle. Tribals versus outsiders. What are you picking up? What are the trends that you'd be watching out for?
Well, good morning, and let me first show you the BJP party office here in Ranchi. And it's a calm and quiet morning in Ranchi at present. Nothing, no movement has been seen from BJP party office from the morning. And we think that every party is keeping fingers crossed, as Satyajit said. And a lot of factors are very decisive in this election. And no one is very confident about winning the elections. Everyone is claiming, though, but we have seen that around 3% voter turnout was increased in this particular assembly election. So can it be decisive? Whether PM Modi, who did at least 6 rallies in Jharkhand, especially the Adivasi community, and he has announced several schemes for Adivasi community, whether that will be decisive, or whether Maya scheme, which gives 2,500 rupees to women voters, by Hemant Soren, whether that will be decided, or whether Jairam Tiger Mahato, who represents Kurmi community, which is again at second largest community in Jharkhand after Adivasi community, at least 22%. So whether that will be decisive. So there are a lot of factors which can decide the moments, and both parties are quiet and keeping mum at present, and they want to at least they are waiting for the EVMs to open.
All right. I guess everyone has their eyes firmly fixed on the EVMs to open. 8 a.m. is when postal ballots start getting counted, and about 9:30 you can start seeing initial trends filtering in. And for the exact trends which are coming in, you can tune in right here on India Today with our reporters getting us the latest from counting centers as well. With that, let's quickly shift focus, viewers, because along with Maharashtra and Jharkhand, there are certain bypolls that are considered the big ticket seats. One of them is Wayanad, primarily because after Rahul Gandhi left the seat of Wayanad for the seat of Rai Bareli in Uttar Pradesh, Priyanka Gandhi, his sister, stepped in. The focus is on Kerala's Wayanad constituency ever since then, as Priyanka Gandhi making her electoral debut from the vacated seat by her brother, an MP from Uttar Pradesh's Rai Bareli. The Congress had expressed confidence of a thumping victory against the left. The Wayanad Lok Sabha constituency is located in northern Kerala, one of the most prominent parliamentary constituencies in India. With Rahul Gandhi holding the seat, the Congress is keen to retain dominance.
And they call you Priyanka Chechi. Do you feel a similar connect? Do you feel more home at Wayanad now than Delhi?
I've been given a lot of love and affection here. People have welcomed me into their homes like family, and it's really touching. It is really also an honor for me.
Why Wayanad? Did you ever decide or regret that you didn't do it a few months ago during the general elections?
No, I didn't regret at all. I had taken a certain decision, and I stuck by that decision. My brother is deeply connected to this area. He loves the people here. They supported him at a time which was very difficult for him. And it was difficult for him to leave. And I think that it's appropriate to be here because we want to continue that bond between him and the people of Wayanad.
I'm already your unofficial member of parliament, so I don't need to stand as the official member of parliament. I was member of parliament of Wayanad for 5 years. What did I get from the people of Wayanad? Whenever I come here, naturally I feel happy. She's the MP candidate, correct? But she's also my little sister. I'm older than her. I'm in public in Wayanad and I give her a hug or I give her a kiss. She said, don't do that. If I'm giving hugs and kisses to the people of Wayanad, why can't I give a hug and a kiss to my sister? When I first went on the Bharat Chodo Yatra, I was a bit surprised because it was a political walk to give a message that everybody should stand together, everybody should be united, everybody should respect each other. Beginning of the yatra already I noticed that I was hugging people, people were kissing me, I was saying I love you, they were saying we love you. It is because the people people of Wayanad gave me so much love and affection that my entire politics changed. The only weapon to actually counter hatred, anger, is love and affection.
നല്ല ശുഭാപ്തി വിശ്വാസമാണ് ജനങ്ങളിൽ. എനിക്ക് ജനങ്ങളൊരു മാറ്റത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ചിന്ത നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. അത് വോട്ടിംഗ് പ്രതിഫലിക്കും.
You are also facing a very strong candidate from the Congress party, Priyanka Gandhi. After Rahul Gandhi decided to retain Raebareli, now she is the candidate of Congress. Do you think it's a tough fight for you?
It's not, because the people have realized that they are in a similar pathetic situation. Last 5 years, Rahul Gandhi had visited only a few times in this Wayanad Mandal, and he has utterly failed in addressing these issues in the parliament. So next time when Priyanka Vadra is coming to address the people, the same scenario is going to happen. They would be coming only like in a visited visa, not with the people. They are not mingling with the people. They are not coming to the ground level to understand their real requirements.
All right, let's quickly connect to my colleague Shibi Mol, who's tracking the election in Wayanad. Shibi Mol, it's the big election for Priyanka Gandhi's debut. Ultimately, the Congress also watching, hoping that it's going to be a safe seat, but what could be the margin of victory?
Well, absolutely, Preeti. In fact, as far as Wayanad is concerned, it's always the margin of victory that's mattered the most for the Congress, especially in an election when Priyanka Gandhi is making a poll debut. They've had a very extensive campaign, very, smart campaign. In fact, Priyanka Gandhi had spent more than 10 days in the constituency, covering as many locations as possible in the constituency. But what is concerning for the Congress is, though the constituency has always supported the Congress, it's only elected the Congress candidates to the Lok Sabha, but there's a dip in the polling percentage. There's around 8% difference when we compare to the 2024 Lok Sabha election. So in what way that 8% difference is going to, how it's going to impact is something that the Congress camp is very concerned about, because if the majority, if a margin of victory drops, from what Rahul Gandhi managed to get in 2024, then that's a major concern for the party, because, the issues discussed in this time for the by-elections were the same issues that were discussed in 2019 and 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So there's been no progress as far as those issues are concerned. So did that affect the voters? Was that the reason behind the drop in polling percentage? Are all concerns for the Congress party. So if the margin of victory is very less, or if it's not what the Congress anticipated, then that's, a major setback, even if they manage to win the election. That's what we're understanding from the ground. As far as the left and the BJP is concerned, only in 2014 we have witnessed a contest in this constituency, and that time the left's candidate was Satyan Mogiri. He's also been fielded one more time from here. So the left feels that they fielded a very strong popular local face, but how much of it can actually bring in votes, especially in an election when Priyanka Gandhi is making a poll debut, is something the left is also watching closely. BJP, definitely this is not a constituency that comes in their top 5 list of priority constituency in a state like Kerala, where they have not made much impact over the years. So but yes, the Congress camp is very concerned about the dip in polling percentage, and it's not a small difference. It's around 8% difference. So that's probably the only factor that's concerning, because otherwise the constituency's nature is that it's always supported the Congress party, and this is an election where Priyanka Gandhi is making a poll debut, and the cadres were really energized. There was a very extensive campaign, door-to-day campaign. The workers took out. So if that did not get converted into votes, and they do not manage to get the majority that they anticipated, then that probably is going to be the only concerning factor.
You are right, and also it could have implications on the big state elections where Kerala is concerned later. Appreciate you joining us, Shibi. We're going to come back to you for the latest updates where counting in Wayanad is concerned. Let's quickly shift into news break coming in.
Namaskar. Good morning. Suprabhatam. Whichever part of this wonderful country you are in, for one last time in 2024, it's the battle of the states, the big verdict day. That's right, the 2 big final battles of this big election year, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, not to forget, as many as 49 bypolls. Results will come out thick and fast here on your election destination, India Today.
Make no mistake, Maharashtra is the prize catch, the most consequential assembly election all the way up till 2029. Whoever wins Maharashtra gets the political bragging rights. If the BJP triumphs today, then Rajdeep, the 4th of June will be the aberration. That was the outlier event This is the era of Modi and there is no end in sight. If, however, the BJP and the Mahayuti trip this morning in Maharashtra, then Rahul Gandhi and the opposition will say, Apna time aa gaya. A lot at stake for politics and for business this counting day.
Preeti, all set this morning. It's early winter, but clearly someone's going to see darkness at noon and someone's going to see the sun shining on them.
Rajdeep, are you sure that someone will see darkness or noon, or we're going to go all the way till the evening?
Look, it could go a very long way, but it could also be a real T20 match.
Rajdeep has to interview Gulzar this evening, so he's hoping that this gets over and he can focus on Gulzar and poetry. Meanwhile, there'll be fireworks galore in Maharashtra and in Jharkhand, and a lot at stake in Jharkhand as well. A tough pitched campaign. It'll be interesting to see which way the cookie crumbles this morning.
It's Maharashtra, you're right, is the big prize. It's the country's commercial capital. It's the second largest state after Uttar Pradesh. There is a lot at stake for the main players in Maharashtra, given, as you rightly said, what happened in the Lok Sabha as well. Jharkhand is important because for the BJP, one of the cornerstones of their politics has been their eastern push and dominating tribal India. They did very well in Chhattisgarh just exactly a year ago. Can they repeat that success in Jharkhand, or can the India alliance claw back there? So I think Jharkhand is important for a variety of reasons. Not to forget the by-elections. Priyanka Gandhi is making her parliament debut today. Akhilesh Yadav was one of the big winners in the Lok Sabha. Can he sustain that in Uttar Pradesh? Yogi Adityanath also needs to consolidate. Mamata Banerjee has suffered a blow during the RG Kar hospital incident. Can she recover in by-elections? You've got a lot at stake in virtually every... There's Bihar. Prashant Kishore is making his political debut in Bihar. So the by-elections there, Rahul, become important. In all, this is as close you get to a mini, not general election, but some kind of a midterm test 6 months after the Lok Sabha.
Except that the term just began.
That's
so
right,
it's
but you know...
midterm, but that's the problem with elections in India. You get over with one and you begin the next, and then there's Delhi lurking right around the New Year. So there's all of that we're looking forward to. Let's get started and take you through the headlines we're tracking this morning.
It's the Maha Verdict Day. Who will be Mumbai ka boss, Maharashtra ka Raza, the Mahayuti or the Mahavikas Aghadi? There's a tough fight on at least 50 seats. Most exit polls give an edge to Mahayuti. Some suggest it could be hung.
Who will win Jharkhand? NDA hopes to make a comeback in the state. Will the JMM-led coalition be able to hold on to power?
Prestige bypoll battle for Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and for Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav. Counting to begin for 9 segments here.
Big day for Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in Kerala's Wayanad. Priyanka looks to make her Lok Sabha debut from her brother Rahul's constituency. Congress confident of a thumping victory.
We'll bring you all the data, election intelligence and ground insights here on India Today. We'll be joined by special guests and we'll bring you the fastest updates only on India Today. Okay, 55 minutes to go for the electronic voting machines to be opened up for 288 constituencies in Maharashtra, 81 in Jharkhand, not to forget the crucial bypolls across the country. So big verdict day for Maharashtra and Jharkhand. It will decide the fate of several major political figures in both these states. Their future is really at stake in these elections.
And made some really exciting changes on the election intelligence dashboard, Rajdeep, and I'm really looking forward to our viewers getting a sample of it. What you will see in a short while from now, and I just want to give you a sneak peek, this is Election Intelligence Dashboard 4.0. It's our passion project. It's what makes our coverage so different from what you see on competition. What will happen as the numbers start coming from Maharashtra and Jharkhand and in these bypolls is that an image will pop up which will show, Rajdeep, in real time to our viewers what percentage of the votes have been counted. This I thought was important because very often when you say, okay, it's 10 versus 5 and 33% vote share versus 32, people forget just what percent of the vote has been counted, which gives you a sense of how much of the battle is still to come. So lots of interesting innovations and additions. We keep working on the election intelligence dashboard. We're supercharged and excited, and I hope that you enjoy this coverage all through the day. Let's introduce you to our reporters who are joining us from different places across the country where these assembly elections are happening, the Lok Sabha bypolls, as also the assembly bypolls. We've got Vidya joining us from Matushri, that's the residence of the Thackerays. We've got Mausami Singh joining us from the residence of Sharad Pawar. Also with us is Piyush Mishra from Devendra Fadnavis's residence. Omkar joins us from Pune. We've got the biggest team of reporters on the ground. And I want to kick this off with Mausami to give us a sense of the mood in the Congress. Congress is what Mausami tracks most closely. Are they hoping that they can win Maharashtra, or are they kind of rattled by the assembly polls, exit polls, which suggested that the Mahayuti seem to have the advantage in Maharashtra?
Rahul, Congress would be hoping that after the results it will say "Me theek aahe," and that's what, you know, the MVA would be hoping to wrestle power out of the Mahayuti. But the tempo and the mood in the Congress is a little circumspect. We saw them holding Zoom meetings yesterday, talking to all the candidates, telling them to man the voting centers and make sure that they stay there till the end. So that's about the preparations. Also, we heard about the hotel politics and how Sanjay Raut spun it around and said that we'll have the hotel readied in Mumbai to ensure there's no poaching. So they know that it's going to be, the Congress somewhere's aware, it's going to be a very tight battle. It could be a neck-to-neck fight, and you know, every vote and even the last ball counts. That's why they would be keeping it watching it very, very closely. Remember that 2 days back, Rahul Gandhi had held a presser at the AICC, and the Congress mood there didn't look very, very upbeat in terms of that they were sure of victory. The body language and the rhetoric was different during the Haryana election. So I think somewhere that is looming large over the entire campaign of the Congress, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, that was Mausami Singh. Rajdeep?
You know, the fact is, psychological games have been played in Maharashtra over the last 48 hours. Sharad Pawar had a briefing and said, we are getting 157. He gave an exact number, and he claimed that he had gone seat by seat and done it. You had the others, you had Sanjay Raut claiming we are already getting our MLAs to come to resorts so that he...
So which resort is most in demand? Where will they likely go?
Last time they went to Powai, to Renaissance, there's the Surya Song.
That's the problem, you know, remember...
They don't have much time, they have just 72 hours.
Maharashtra Assembly has to convene by the 26th of November because the Constitution mandates that there be a 5-year period between the first sitting of the last assembly and the next sitting, and therefore last time they had 35 days between the time results came and Uddhav Thackeray was sworn in. More than a month lapsed. This time they have 72 hours. So this is not a test match at Perth, this is a T20 match at the Wankhede.
2 points on that. First of all, the Election Commission has much to answer for.
Why?
Because the fact is, you do not normally do an election just 3 days before the end of a term. You give 15-20 days in most circumstances.
But they've done it successfully in one phase.
No, it's not about one phase.
But Maharashtra usually has voted in one phase.
For the very reason that you said, you are creating a potential situation where in 72 hours, if you can't form a government, you have president's rule. Normally, you have... I am only going by precedent. You give 15 to 20 days. Maharashtra held the election last time in the 3rd week of October. That's the reality. But you wanted to separate Haryana from Maharashtra. This is, of course, election commission which is otherwise supposed to do.
No, but if
one
they
nation,
get
one
it right,
vote.
it would be a masterstroke. They won Haryana. If the Mahayuti triumphs in Maharashtra, then it's Chanakya Niti.
No, look.
But then EC
it's about election. No,
How
election.
does the EC get into Chanakya Niti?
I'm raising questions over the election commission and their calendar. They have much to answer for. Unfortunately, we don't ask. There are certain institutions in this country that are treated as holy cows and not asked the questions that they should be asked. The election commission had much to answer for the way Maharashtra was scheduled. That apart, you said 3 days time, President's rule. It's only if it is badly hung, in my view, that you will have a long drawn out process. Remember, last time the long drawn out process came because of this whole battle between the BJP and Shiv Sena, kaun banega Mukhyamantri, eventually leading to the Shiv Sena moving away. I actually don't see that happening. Both sides have sufficient rebels and independents who are contesting in a manner that if they win, they will immediately join either the Mahayuti or the Mahavikas Agadi. I give the huge advantage there to the Mahayuti because the Mahayuti has the resources. They've also put up a lot of independents and rebels in the other camp. There are 17 BJP candidates who are contesting on other party symbols as well.
But the fact also is that Chhattisgarh showed us, the Lok Sabha election showed us, the United States election showed us that pundits are often confused. The voters aren't. Those were clear verdicts in Chhattisgarh, in Haryana, in the United States. The verdicts were clear. So it's the pundits in the studio who whip themselves up into a frenzy, getting confused about what they're picking up. The voter typically isn't that confused.
No, but the very interesting thing about Maharashtra is that all the pollsters, by and large, barring one or two, have pointed directionally in the Mahayuti winning. Some are giving a huge win, some are giving a narrow win. But all the reporter polls, some of the channels have done reporter stringer polls, are all predicting hung assembly. So I think
So Rajdeep is conjuring this battle, reporters versus pollsters.
Yes, it is. In Maharashtra, it is reporters versus pollsters. My own view, clear advantage to Mahayuti. I'm not sure of the nature of the advantage. It could be a small advantage, it could be a big advantage.
So you're on the side of the pollsters, not the reporters?
I'm between the two because I don't believe that the pollsters who are predicting 180, 200 may be right. I don't think so. I also don't think that those who are predicting that this will, be no party will get more than 120. I don't think so. I think there will be a clear verdict that Maharashtra will give directionally.
I think soothsaying is dangerous for health. And therefore, let's just stay focused on doing commentary on the match that unfolds before us without pretending to know which way this battle will end. Let me introduce Rajat Sethi. Give us a sense, Rajat, of the mood in the BJP camp this morning. Are they confident that they've got both in the bag, or are they very rattled and worried about Jharkhand?
I think they're cautiously confident. Results have been throwing surprises, and they don't want themselves to be victim of any kind of a surprise. So I believe they'll hold their horses at least till 11 a.m. in the morning before they come out and begin the celebrations. But if you look at Maharashtra unit, BJP seems fairly confident. They were fairly confident even 15 days back. So ever since the last 2 weeks, the way elections has been sort of shaping up, I did not see BJP and the entire UT panicking at any point in time. Surprisingly, the Aghadi wasn't panicking as well. They were comfortably numb throughout the elections. I was hoping at some point, the real escalation of the campaign activity from the Aghadi is going to happen. When you are a challenger, right, you need to behave like a challenger. You need to go out, put up messages which are directly attacking, scathing in nature. But look at the topics that the Aghadi picked up. Towards the very fag end of the election, they picked up Adani issue. They believed that, Adani is a central issue which will help them sway the election one way or the other. Instead, farmer issue could have been a far bigger issue. And this is what we've been debating for the past 2-3 days. Apparently, Aghadi was convinced even before, UT got that sort of some cautious confidence that this election is a done deal for Aghadi. They're winning.
So Amitabh Tiwari, you've been speaking to strategists on both sides of the political divide. Who do you think this morning, they're not pretending that they are confident when you speak to them, but who is andar se dara hua?
I think both are cautious about the results because anything can happen. But if you see the prediction or the confidence of the MBA, in getting the numbers they are predicting are not significantly higher. They're talking about 150, 155, 157, which inherently assumes that there is going to be a very tight battle. But if you see BJP's internal numbers or Mahayuti's internal numbers, they are like 165, 180-ish. And that they have the confidence because now of the 6% increase in the female turnout vis-a-vis the Lok Sabha election, they feel that this overarching theme, which was the only overarching theme in this election, which is the Ladki Bahin Yojana, might have worked on the ground. Now we'll have to see. However, there is a catch here is that if Ladki Bahin Yojana works in Maharashtra, then the Maiya Samman Yojana also is likely to work in Jharkhand. So it plays both ways. Now there is a battle between, Rajdeep said, pollsters and reporters. I would say there's a battle between the quantitative surveyors and the people who have gone on the ground and who do a qualitative analysis. Yeah. If you do a qualitative analysis and you go on the ground, issues, the discontent, farmer distress, etc., you will feel that there is a significantly closer battle, a tighter battle. But if you do a quantitative analysis based on the turnout and the historical numbers and the number of rebels and the voting turnout patterns and the caste dynamics which have changed, quantitatively it seems that the Mahayuti has the...
Gender is going to be a huge role in this election, given that Ladki Bahin was so aggressively pushed. You go from the highway from Nashik all the way to Mumbai, every hoarding was about Ladki Bahin. I haven't seen one scheme ever being pushed by a state government so aggressively, a single scheme. This election wasn't about Modi ki guarantee, it wasn't even about Fadnavis ki guarantee, it was about Ladki Bahin scheme all the way. So if you've got one single narrative, the point that Amitabh made, it could be that.
But can I make the point? Can I make the point?
Just a limited point. Based on what Rajat said, I think Rajat got it spot on. The biggest mistake that happened for the Maha Vikas Aghadi was the victory in the Lok Sabha. That convinced them it's a done deal. So July, August, September, through the monsoon, they decided to step back, sit down, and that gave the opportunity to the Shinde government to frame a positive narrative around Ladki Bahin to offset some of the anti-incumbency that was clearly there against the government. They worked hard in those 3 months. They focused on target groups and course corrected. If Maharashtra turns out to be a Mahayuti victory, it's a classic example of how in politics, never give up, course correct, learn from your mistakes, and there is no place for complacency.
The Maha Vikas Aghadi was acting like India before the New Zealand Test series began. They just assumed that humne jeetna hi hai. I mean, what's the big deal? They'll come, we'll just back them around and win. And in the end, it turned out to be a 3-0 drubbing.
But Preeti, do you agree this gender factor? You travel through those critical areas where there is farmer distress, Vidarbha and Marathwada. Was the farmer identifying himself or herself as a farmer first or as a woman first?
Well, Rajiv, the way I look at it is the Maha Vikas Aghadi is hoping that the same issues are voted again twice over after Lok Sabha, and where the Mahayuti is concerned across at least the districts and the regions I travelled into, I do feel there's only one single narrative, which is the Ladki Bahin Yojana. Having said that, one can say, will it work here because it worked in Madhya Pradesh, and if it works here, it will have to work in Jharkhand. We tend to look at women as a monolith. It's not, because it didn't work in Telangana where BRS was there. It didn't work in Andhra Pradesh where YSRCP was there. So will it work this time or not? That remains to be seen. Having said that, Rajdeep, there is a caveat. This scheme is slightly different than the other cash for transfer schemes, because usually it was one woman per household is what we've seen in the recent past. This one at some level will give about 4,500 per household, and that's a fair amount of money, because that would mean that one woman who is going out and working doesn't need to. So of the 3 in the house, one doesn't need to go out and work and can stay home.
No,
so in that sense, yes.
Also brilliantly timed. You see, when you look at the Diwali bonus, a family told me, you see, one of the things we like in Maharashtra is faral at Diwali. Now, in normal times, the faral this time was more expensive because cooking oil price had gone up.
True.
But the moment I get 7,500, I can buy faral. One very interesting family in Thane told me, I said, "Tumi kai kela? What did you do with the money?" "Ami pizza party keli." These were these housemates in Thane. They had a pizza
but Rajdeep, there is a flip side. So while you're getting about 4,500 certain urban centers are very, very happy. I've met women ecstatic. Some of them have actually even got together, started a small, farsan ka business and stuff like that. And they've started doing that. But there is a flip side when you travel through Marathwada, when you travel through Vidarbha. In Vidarbha, a woman becomes a farmer as well. In Marathwada, caste identity takes over. So that woman might not vote as a woman getting in this amount of money, but vote as a Maratha. In Vidarbha, vote as a farmer. So I did see those differences and nuances.
Vidya joins us from Matushri. That's the residence of the Thackerays. And the Thackeray family wouldn't be very happy with the post-poll studies that came out with there, because the polls uniformly are suggesting while Sharad Pawar's NCP is likely to do better than Ajit Pawar's NCP, in that Sena versus Sena clash, the suggestion so far is, and we'll see what the results are, the suggestion so far is that Shinde-Sena may triumph over the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena, and that could be deeply problematic. We've got Piyush Mishra joining us from the residence of Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, who would be itching to get rid of that deputy in his title, just become Chief Minister once again. And there, I think 90, Piyush, is the critical mark. If it's 90 plus, then BJP may say, well, we're the single largest party. This is our chance to be Chief Minister again. And if it's below 80, then, well, Eknath Shinde is really important. He becomes, in some ways, the Nitish Kumar of Maharashtra. Piyush Mishra.
Well, absolutely, Rahul, and that's the biggest advantage which BJP has, because it's the only party here in Maharashtra which has fought on the maximum number of seats. 148 is the figure on which BJP has fought, and it is very much hopeful and confident also that it's going to score century, which means above 100 it will have in its kitty. But at the same time, we are also seeing as to how Shinde-Sena has also fought on above 80 seats, and Ajit Pawar around 52 seats. So this shows that BJP, which is confident, has also given a huge share of its pie to Shinde-Sena and also to Ajit Pawar's NCP. I'm right now present in the in front of the residence of Devendra Fadnavis. Remember that on the day of voting, he was there in Nagpur, and the very next day he flew to Mumbai and started holding meetings with various other leaders. We are also speaking with various BJP leaders, Rahul. They are telling us that yes, they are confident of getting more than 100, but as far as the government formation is concerned, they are waiting for results to come. At the same time, Rahul, they are also in touch with various rebel candidates. What I am hearing from my sources is that around 31 seats are there in Mahayuti, on which there are rebel candidates. 7 seats are there on which there are candidates of the same party, official candidate and rebel candidate of the same party, and 24 seats are there on which rebels are of different political parties. That is why BJP has started getting in touch with not only rebels of Mahayuti but also of Mahavikas Aghadi, because we know that BJP is expert in forming the government when it comes to forming government in crisis, and that is why they are in touch with various people. Senior leaders of BJP are in Mumbai. Bhupendra Yadav, who was in charge for elections, held a meeting with Devendra Fadnavis. He is keeping a close watch on the developments, and in few hours from now, we will see a picture to get clear. Maximum by 12 p.m. The first picture will come out, and then we will see.
So Vidya is with us from Matoshri. A lot at stake for the Thackerays, because if Shinde-Sena Vidya does well, then questions will be asked about the future viability of the UBT project itself. If, however, Aditya Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray are able to triumph in this battle, then maybe on the flip side, some of the Shinde-Sena MLAs may want to come back.
Well, in fact, yes, it is a high stake for the Thackerays. Remember, it's the Thackeray legacy, as they have been saying, is with them. Uddhav Bal Thackera's legacy, in reality, is what they have been claiming is with the Uddhav Thackeray faction. But this particular test today will determine whether this legacy is indeed with them, or is it with the Eknath Shinde faction, who is also claiming that they have the legacy because he was blessed himself by Anand Dighe and Bal Thackeray. So that's the war of the legacy will certainly be there. And it's not just for the Thackerays. Remember, it's also for the Pawars. Sharad Pawar, whether, the way he had fought and, overruled where his own party had broken in 1980s, he rebuilt it and made sure that everyone won and made it a much larger party.